So tell me, if we were to break down your relationship with Kyle, and by the way, I wouldn't do this on session one. If we were like starting out together, I'd learn how you'd met, how long you'd been together. If you have children, I'd get all that history, but for the sake of demoing and giving people enough time, I'm cutting to the chase, okay? So let's look at the parts of your relationship, the different marriages within the marriage. Did you understand that concept when I was explaining? Okay, great. Great.
Very helpful. So definitely parents.
Great. And how many kids do you have?
Collectively 5, but we have 2 in the home with us.
Great.
Ages 8 and 10.
Great.
I would say housemates or business partners, like what we do is like he's the provider, the financial provider, and I'm kind of the manager of what he brings in,
Great. Yeah.
We have a really good partnership there. We balance.
What do you want to call that? Do you want to call it business partners? Do you want to call it business
like
partners?
A partnership, great. Anything with partner in it. Yeah.
Perfect. And that relates to money, to finances and management of like schedules. Is that part of it also? Like what?
I would say, yeah, it more towards just finances.
Finances. Okay, great. Okay, and what's another part?
Another part would be intimately. Another part would be like domestically, handling the domestic responsibilities is aside from kids and aside from finances. So like the chores, with the yard, the things of that sort.
Yep, projects in the house, that kind of thing. Yep, got it. How about social? Is there a social marriage? I mean, most people have one in some way or another.
Social.
Like how you relate to other people outside of your home. It could be friends, it could be people through work, it could be, anything that's not just you together in the home. But it would be different than like family outside of the home. So if there's no social marriage, that's really important to note too. That's good.
Yeah, I would say that would be an area to work on because we really don't have any social marriage.
Great. So just not to spend a lot of time, but is that something you would want to develop in future coaching?
Yes.
Okay, great. And I ask that just so everybody knows, listening to learn, is because I don't actually want to waste my client's time if she's not interested in that. Like, let's say I'm working with someone who lives in a mountain town and they've made their whole life around not having to have a social part of their marriage. I respect that. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's keep going. Okay.
So I would like to clarify, social meaning designated time apart from our other responsibilities. So like where we can focus on each other. And I guess it doesn't necessarily even have to be social.
Okay, so I meant something a little different. I meant time, and I'm glad you're bringing it up. Really good. I meant time where you're together with friends or community.
Together.
So together, right? Not just your private friendships or his private friendships, but together as a couple.
So we're part of a recovery ministry.
So that's big social.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily together because it's separated by gender. I'm leadership and he's actually in the active area.
Okay.
So we're very separated.
Okay, so that would still be a part of your marriage, another subpart, the recovery ministry. Even though you have different roles, I'm assuming that's an important part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would give that another sub-marriage category. And for the social marriage, what I mean is time spent with friends or community as a couple, relaxing, having good time or learning something, but it's not about your service work. It's not about your family responsibilities. It's just for the two of you to include social.
Yeah, I would say that's probably not a very big
Not a big
one
thing.
or
Yeah.
for either one of us. But
Okay.
I'm flexible, but I know he's just not, it's not big for him. He gets
Okay.
plenty enough people at his job.
Right, right. And that's how many people who are actually in service, and you with the ministry, many people who are in service get their needs met for social through that part of their life. Okay, and anything else come up for you? Any other submarriage?
Submarriage. I would say like fun. Like I would
Fun.
like to work on fun.
Great.
Interests, something that we do
So it
just
could be hobbies or kind of friends. Okay, some people call that the hobby marriage or the friend marriage.
okay. Friend marriage. I
Friend
like
marriage.
that.
Okay, great. Okay, good. We have a great list here. So I'm just going to repeat it to you. Parents, business partners, intimate marriage, domestic, social, recovery ministry, and fun marriage. So that's 7. So let's see, what do you rate the business? I'm sorry, what do you rate the parents? Like 3 for excellent, 2 for medium, 1 for needs help.
I would say right in the middle.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So I'll give it a nice 2. And then how about the business partners?
I would say we're good.
Excellent, 3. And how about the intimate marriage?
It was very recently a 1, but we've kind of shifted, and so it's 2. But there's definitely it's a fun area right now.
Oh, good. That's wonderful. That's such good news. So that like tells me that you're already really activating your skills to make things better. Okay, that's great. And domestic.
Domestic 2, a good 2,
A good
if not
2.
3. I mean, like
2 to 3, so like 2.5.
yeah.
Okay. Social. So that's the one, it would be like a 1, like it's not really happening right now.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question there? Do you have a friend or 2 that you value though for yourself?
Yeah, I have my people,
Okay.
I have my people. I also have like I guess more of like people that it's hard for me to keep people on the surface. I'm like how you said it, like an overshare. So I'm just kind of like blah, with everybody I meet. So of course I feel very close to everybody. But so yes, I do have.
Okay, good. So it's there just as your coach. I just like to know that that's there for you as a resource.
Yeah.
And then the ministry, what would you rate that as the way the 2 of you relate to it together? Like even just talking about it or being with it as something that you are in leadership and that he's part of. Would you say excellent, medium, or need some help?
Medium.
Medium. Okay. And what about the fun marriage? The friend marriage.
So I think it definitely needs some help. It needs a lot of attention. However, it's interesting because our other roles, our other marriages, we've kind of given it more of a fun attitude. So it's fulfilling. So, but and if a actual like friendship, yeah, I would just say it's right there. It was definitely like this shriveled up little 1.
Okay.
But like I said, there's been a huge shift. We just were separated and like had divorce paperwork filled out and everything for at the beginning of this year. And so we've gotten through the honeymoon phase of, reconciling and everything. And we're kind of trying, thank you. Yeah. So we're trying to hold this space of like being realistic with life and the fact that we have a lot of work to do and not becoming discouraged. And like how you said, the last conversation that we've had, a relationship is only as good as the last conversation, like intentionally ending well.
Yeah.
And appreciating the difficulty of these, conversations or situations, and just really just trying to trying to appreciate each other.
Okay,
You know,
so
even the difficult.
you're doing a lot of work on that friendship marriage, it sounds like. You're really working on that growth. That sounds great. So the elements there, like conversation, the sort of emotional tone, I'm guessing from what you just described.
Very vulnerable,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and we both recognize like that it's scary, and
Yeah.
that, you know, and that's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be
Wow.
um and be respectful, because I'm the rawr, I lean in and I want to engage and I want to work it out and I want to chew it on it, and he's of course the get away from me, you know, and he retreats. And so me holding my space and allowing him room to kind of poke his head out, and you know, so this is me kind of providing that safe place for him. And
Beautiful.
it's so
From what
hard.
it's hard, but from what you're describing and your wisdom there, to me, I would say that's definitely a 2, because you're bringing in so much tools and energy and consideration that I would say that's really you're there in the sweet zone of growth. Like
Okay.
I
I
just
agree.
just so you know, from my opinion, because when I hear people who are a 1, like who are really needing help there, it's like they don't have resources. They're not talking to each
Okay.
other for weeks at a time. They feel
Yeah.
totally unloved, you know, like they're, so
Yeah.
maybe you're like, it's been a weak point in the past, but you're doing a lot there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
That's
been
great.
a definite shift, and so too.
And I just realized I didn't touch in on our higher self. And I'm guessing as a minister, you have a lot of resources in that area.
Yeah. During the break, I just did all my, you know,
Yeah.
I did all my energy work to just draw in everything.
Okay, great. So you know how to
That's
do that, and it's here with us. Wonderful. And I just want to ask, do you use that as a resource before you're spending time with your husband, like in the friendship or any other marriage? Do you prepare yourself that way?
No, but I think that definitely is a useful tool, because I am starting to make the shift of like being aware that that's necessary. It's just I haven't quite made the shift to change that yet, to do something about it. But I do set the energy and the space for the day. So every morning and every evening I open and I close the day. But open and close conversation with my husband.
Yeah.
And to kind of, that would be.
And just for
beautiful.
yourself to know you're approaching that time together from your highest self, from your greatest connection with God or whatever your language is, that you're entering that in a really empowered state. Okay, so which one would you like to focus on of these marriages today? We could do a medium level one. There were quite a few.
Okay, let's do the parenting one, because the paradigms that we operate from are totally different.
Okay, tell me about that. Tell me about your 2 different paradigms.
Okay, so I totally come from the authoritarian. I mean, when I look back and I mimicked, I would take away what I felt would have been beneficial for me. This was at the beginning. And so I thought I needed structure. So therefore I provided structure.
Okay.
But that quickly eroded the relationships with my kids. And so as the observer, I was like, hold on a minute. This is not cool, because I'm watching it dissolve, and I'm like, okay, we're redoing stuff here. And so of course, this is my whole self-discovery and my whole recovery thing.
Yeah.
So I've graduated and evolved into more, and of course I feel like a rubber band sometimes, because when I'm stressed or overwhelmed, I revert back. Right. But for the most part, in my intentional, when I'm in my fully intentional present mind, I'm very, what am I trying to say?
Well, you used the word observer, which was interesting. Are you able to see the different people's perspectives as the observer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go from more of a peaceful parenting, conscious parenting,
Mm-hmm.
like we homeschool,
Mm-hmm.
and that this has been my therapy. Oh, the huge therapeutic benefit of just getting in touch with the parts of me
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't want to invade and trespass onto the children, but of course, learning how to trust them because they
Yeah.
haven't been impacted the way I have been. And what I was really missing was those parts of me that I had yet to trust, and just coming back in communication and relationship with those beautiful parts.
Yeah.
And so I have a trusting relationship with my children,
Yeah.
and the healing and like supportive quality of that is miraculous.
That's great.
And my husband is very much authoritarian. He's in a very powerful management position at work. He's
Okay.
extremely authoritarian. Do as I say. I asked you 3 times. That is enough, and I get it. I totally get it.
Uh-huh.
However, I'm not there anymore. And the kids are very like unresponsive to it.
Yeah.
They feel treaded upon, because they
Yeah.
just don't operate there.
Right.
And so I get it. I understand where everybody's at. And with that, I see for me to, I don't know how, I haven't quite, I understand the space for me is to portray the same trust to him that I do to the children, that they'll be able to work it out.
Okay, so that sounds like a wish you have or a need to trust him.
Yes.
To trust Kyle. Okay.
And like how you were speaking on the peacemaker earlier, just like, and it's not a turning away as if I'm trying to pretend it's not happening. It is a full acknowledgement.
Right.
That I'm not needed to work it out between them.
So it's an acknowledgement your husband makes that you're not needed, or it's an acknowledgement you acknowledge?
Position. So like when he's barking at the kids and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to let them work it out. And I'm not going to allow myself to be the scapegoat either to the kids or to my husband. Because that was my part. Like during this big transition of mine, during this big shift, is I was trying to play the peacemaker. Like, well, no, Cliffy, that's because daddy doesn't understand, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because you don't understand because you're not here.
Yeah. Now with an 8 and 10-year-old though, I do want to say I'm guessing when it's appropriate to step in if there's a real misunderstanding that he's not getting your rules of the house when he's not there, or because some aspects of that peacemaker and that power is very important. Right.
So that would probably be where I arrive, because that is what I struggle with.
Right. So
knowing what is
finding when do I trust and let him be him that way, and when do I step in and help there be more acknowledgement of where we're at.
Yeah.
So it's that's a very discerning skill of discernment there.
Yeah.
So should I put that as one of the goals for this part of the marriage, for you to have that discernment of trust versus peacekeeper?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, trusting that ability, trusting that it is there.
Okay, great. One suggestion I would make when we're looking at actions is trusting him to have really enjoyable times. Does that ever happen? That he has like one-on-one kind of time with the kids, either both of them or
this
one-on-one?
weekend.
Oh yeah, great. So that's a way you can really build that trust, is to witness how he has skills with them that you don't have. He has connections you don't have. Okay. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And what are some of those strengths he has as a dad that are different than your own?
He is a lot more spontaneous, and he's the guy that goes and takes them places and, drops $50 on a go-karting experience. And
Oh, great. So
where
he's
I'm
fun.
like, yeah.
He's fun. Okay, that's great. That's beautiful. Okay, that's really good to know. So just so I have more information in the parenting marriage, how old are the other kids? Are they from other marriages? Are they all yours? What's
Yeah. So I have 4, Deja, 27, Bryce, 18, then Ezra, 10, and Cliffy, 8. And then he has Raven. Well, him and I have Ezra and Cliffy, and then he has Raven, 15.
Okay, great. What a nice spread of ages.
Yeah.
Hard to believe you have a 27-year-old. You look very
Yeah.
young. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
And
we have
Raven, does Raven live with her mom and then
Yeah.
come to your house sometimes? Do you have her?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's only maybe around about once a year. Deja and Bryce, they're in Michigan. Bryce comes down to visit us. We're in Texas.
Okay.
But yeah, but we're all part of each other's lives.
Okay. So Ezra and Cliffy are the ones that are home.
Yeah.
And so is there any difference in your husband's relationship with the 2 boys, with Ezra and Cliffy? Because one is biological and
Ezra's daughter.
Ezra, sorry, is
daughter.
a daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any distinction you want to make in that relationship as parents, especially because, right?
So Ezra and Cliffy are ours.
Oh, they're both yours. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I thought one might be from before. Okay. Because that can sometimes, just so everyone knows, if that is the situation, then sometimes we need to look at the relationship to each child separately a little bit more. But even when that's not the situation, is there anything you want to look at that's different between the 2?
No, actually, the relationship he has, it's really okay. So Cliffy, they're both kind of at the crushing phases. So Cliffy is like really, really just all about mommy, and Ezra's just all about her daddy. And it's like, it's so cool. It's so cute.
That's great.
It's so cute. And then of course Cliffy and Daddy get to go do boy stuff.
Yeah.
And then me and Ezra get to do our girl stuff. But
Nice.
I mean, it's just kind of, we're just kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, good.
He has him and Ezra they have the same type of introverted. I don't want to say introverted because I'm an introvert, but like they're more of the stuffer, the passive aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cliffy and I are very much like in your face, tell you like it is, you know.
A little more open. Okay. Yeah, because you had mentioned how you tell everyone kind of deep things about yourself, and that's very okay, great. So if you were to think to yourself, is there a real need I have in this relationship, that in this part of marriage, that sometimes gets met, but sometimes it doesn't get met, or maybe it never gets met, or maybe it always gets met? What's the most important need for you in the parenting connection?
Oh, in parenting.
Just in the parenting part of the marriage, just as the marriage of parents.
Interest and inquiry.
Interest and inquiry. Beautiful. And okay, we'll go back to that one. I'm just going to highlight it there. That's super. And what about a wish? Is there a wish? Maybe it's similar to interest and inquiry. Maybe it takes on, it's different. Just a wish. Like wishes we can live without, but we do really have that hope for that part of the marriage, or that vision. What would a wish be for that, for this part of the marriage? Like it could be a vacation you want to take. It could be a daily ritual.
Vacation. A family vacation. Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. I'm glad I thought of that. Is there anything more daily that you wish for that's maybe like just a wish that comes from your need? Like some kind of taking
like a check-in.
A check-in on the parenting part of the marriage.
Like,
great.
How are we doing? what I miss, what are you guys into, how to go, you know.
Perfect.
Um,
Okay.
Kind of like, I don't know, if and this has been many topics of many conversations, is like, if I were to go meet him at work, I would check in to see like where he was in his day before I just barged in and expected everybody to drop everything for me.
Right.
And so I would like that same, you know.
Yeah. So does it come more like in the evening when he gets home, that check-in, that kind of, that you would like to have happen?
So right now, this is a really beautiful
Well, now
time.
is he working at home?
Well, now, no, we're not even living together right now. So he's
Oh,
just
okay.
comes home for the weekends. And so I'm like, what a beautiful opportunity to just like to implement new ways, you know,
Yeah.
as we're
Yeah.
slowly rejoining.
Yeah.
So,
Could you have a check-in though, maybe during the week, like on a Wednesday or something, where you just tell him what's happened the last few days with the kids? Okay. Yeah, or any other idea you have for that check-in?
see, it's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle that just presents itself. So,
Okay, say welcome obstacles. Thank you for being here. Now I'm gonna like see if I really like Magley's suggestion or I have another one.
okay.
Okay.
So with the obstacle of his business, his schedule is nuts.
Okay.
And the demands are, in my opinion, he does not allow margin. He has zero time for anything else
Okay.
when it gets this way, and it's not always this way.
Okay.
So trying to be sensitive to that and being able to, you know, insert my suggestion of, hey, how about, and this makes me very vulnerable. Like I'm talking through my teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the pattern of our relationship has been, I suggest and get put off, suggest and get put off, suggest and get put off.
Yeah.
And then I want to move forward with forgiveness and just, this is what it is now, and continue to do the work in myself. So yeah, I will.
So I have another suggestion. Hearing about your obstacle and about his work schedule, here would be another option I would give for you as an action, is that you write a letter at some point that's convenient to you in the week, giving a little breakdown of like whatever categories you want to share with him. Like, here we're at with chores, here we're at with schoolwork, here I'm at emotionally, here the kids are at, anything big that came up. Like, you decide categories you might want to give him some notes on as a co-parent who's coming for the weekend, and you send it to him however you want to, whenever you want to. You decide for yourself, and you ask him, your only job is to read it before you walk in the door Friday or Saturday. How would that feel?
The first sense I get is guilty, because he deals with stuff like this all week.
Huh. But before he goes into a meeting, for example, with people that need to make a decision, he's probably given some notes to go through by team members or someone. Yeah. So I just wonder, maybe it's something to bring up with him as a question, to say, you would like these check-ins. What ideas does he have? You have several ideas. One could be you schedule a 15-minute call or text. Another would be you give him sort of a breakdown, but what would he like, so that he's informed of what's happened? Or would you like it to be on the weekend that you put aside time for that? That'd be another way to approach this, is to offer it. And he might just say, you decide, or none of it, and that's up to him. But you have made that offer.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the way that is actually successful. This is just a starting point. Okay.
Right, right. And it can be on the weekend. It can just be, could we take out like 15 minutes for me to go over some of the things I've noticed this week about the kids and what's going
And
on.
it doesn't have to be legalistic. Like if there's really nothing unremarkable, then I've got
Then nothing. Like you could say, you know, we read this book,
Okay.
or everyone went crazy eating strawberries this week.
Yeah.
Like anything. And actually, this works really well for parents who are living apart and sharing parenting. Also, I would make the same suggestion, that because the parenting part of relationship is still really strong, it's important to fill each other in. Also, if he takes the kids to do something on the weekend away from you for half the day or something, maybe the kids naturally tell you what it was like for them, but maybe he doesn't. And that would be a nice request to say, hey, tell me what that was like for you.
Okay.
It just increases that connection and that inquiry and that need for interest. I think this is a starting point. But what else do you think might be a commitment you could make to yourself to meet that need in yourself, but to also offer it to your husband to help you? That interest and inquiry.
To meet that need within myself.
In your parenting part of marriage. Yeah.
So, I would have to say that's probably, now this has begun to take a large proportion of my, my like time thinking and, you know, inputting, but the consideration, I'm interested because I'm not sure if I seek information, but I'm not, gosh, this is parenting with Kyle. I'm not really interested about him at all. I think that I know that I've discovered just a place I don't want to, okay, I have figured out what I don't want to do because I don't want to judge him and criticize him anymore.
Okay, great.
However, I don't know
I don't want to judge and criticize.
Great.
And how do you want to be?
Yes. Right.
Yeah. I feel like in Alice in Wonderland, what is the, I don't know, they say something about what do you want or something. So yeah, so let's imagine a year in the future, and this part of your relationship is so smooth and good, and you're feeling really that shared interest and inquiry.
Magali?
Yes.
So something did come up that I have been trying to stuff, and I just realized it. So okay. I don't like that I need a break.
And that can be a physical need.
Oh, and my body has been, like when you were saying somatic processing, is I'm like, well, duh, I have seriously been in and out of bed the past 3 weeks because of just one thing or the other. And I'm just like, of course, like going through this like body betrayal thing, like, well, what is it that you need? What can I do? And I think it's just I need to just acknowledge and accept that I'm unhappy with the fact that I need a break from the kids, because seriously, when he comes over on the weekends, then it's all of us together, and then he goes away for the week, and then it's just me and the kids.
Yeah.
And I don't realize that, oh wow, nothing has ever lifted, not even for a moment. And I was very mindful of that for a while, just being with the homeschool thing. There was a time of the day where mommy, unless you were on fire or bleeding, you needed to leave me alone.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've let that go.
Okay, so that's a really important need, that it sounds like you do have resources to get that break. I would say every day.
Every day. But
Every night.
what has come up that's different is I'm not okay with it, right? I'm not okay with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I don't like that about myself
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know
So,
why I
so
can't.
what if you were to imagine someone you care about, someone else, another woman, maybe your older child, and they're expressing this to you? How would you approach them about its importance and what it gives them and others?
Just very sweetly and gently, and offering suggestions or examples or
Yeah.
brainstorming with them.
Okay, great. And it could be, I'm just going to offer this to you. It could be that the feeling that comes along with needing a break is triggers something else in you. So that means that you're not strong enough, or that means, I don't know what it is for you, but often when we don't want to give to ourselves on some level, there can be a sense that if I do give that to myself, I won't be able to be strong again, or I'll need more, or there's a story we make about what will happen if I give it to myself.
I think I got spooked with the whole thought of the divorce and being,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and it made me like, holy crap, I have to be on at all times now.
Right.
And I
Right.
worked really hard at getting that type A to like simmer down.
To relax. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And
So
I
the
got,
break, so this is really important. So would the break be for your body to be restored? Would it be for to feel peaceful? What would it give you, the break?
um, huh. It all
Space?
depends. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's like mentally just to like check out,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to sit quiet with nothing on.
Yeah.
And then there's other times where I'm just like, I want to just like, I wish I could read and listen and watch all at the same time. Like I'm just like so thirsty. So it just
So
depends.
what I'm observing here, I want to point out is that it's focus on you. Whatever it is you're doing, what it is though, is you're giving yourself the focus and the priority. That for that amount of time of that break, you get to decide what you need, whether it's spacing out or doing a lot of things or whatever, it's your time. And
Okay.
that's valuable. I don't know. Do you see that? How it doesn't matter what the action is, but you're saying, I'm the most important thing for this hour or day or whatever.
I understand exactly what you're saying, except in the like exercising of it. It's like, well, I can do this since the kids will be doing this, or
Yeah.
while they're doing this, I could do this. And
Okay,
I'm
but it's
always,
good. I get it. I have 5 kids. I understand. It's fine if that's how it comes about. But I'd like to suggest that when, like, okay, I've planned the day, so the kids are going to be busy with this thing and I can take my time. But you just say, and I'm going to note down, that's going to be my goal today, that when they're doing that, I take my time. And I completely enjoy that time is mine. Even if the laundry has to get done, even if this other thing, I'm going to decide what I want to do then and really own that for whatever, even if it's only 15 minutes or half an hour, but see if you can even just carve out daily 15 minutes.
yeah.
And
I know I can because
you
I've done
can,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I think the emotional space.
Yeah.
I really just need to allow myself to, like, where we are right now. Like I never was without. I never had to be that person that I was like, like holding myself ready to be.
Right.
I grew up with a single mom. I've been a single mom.
Yeah.
Like I just like I'm like feeling this for the first time. I'm really like recognizing it for the first time since this shift happened. There's this like high alert
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah.
So I'll start
And time with yourself is going to let that high alert relax or give you more information or,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I would suggest here too, so because this is relationship coaching, you've really clarified so much about your need and your wish, like planning the family vacation or the check-ins, whatever, however that manifests for you. but also you can communicate to him about these things. So what communication would you like to make with Kyle about planning a vacation or the check-in, or I'll let you choose, or about that personal time?
Yeah. I think I need to get to a place where I'm not just so darn excited about it.
Why do you have to, I'm confused. Why do you have to leave the excitement?
Just my excitement tends to shut him down. And,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
so I guess I'm preparing myself to be in his space. And so I want to just clearly
Mhm.
feel respectful of like that he's willing to meet me there.
Is there
Because
a question you could ask him that would make it less obtrusive, like, like less in his face? Some kind of question you could ask him about any of these topics?
yeah, I could inquire myself.
Inquire. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can, so how would that sound to him? I'm just wondering, like, how would
Okay.
you put it to him? Let's just imagine I'm him and you're gonna bring up a vacation for the family.
Okay. What do you think of the idea of us doing a family vacation once a year? And is that feasible? Because usually when his daughter visits, he takes all of his vacation time. And so so what we did one year is we took a family vacation while she was with us.
Okay.
But then of course he had to work through like his dad guilt. Like now he's sharing his time with Raven with his other kids that he's with all year.
Right.
So
Got it.
So,
So
we can
another idea, I'm going to just throw the kitchen sink at you, okay? Another idea is maybe you guys want to take a whole day or a weekend away from the boys together as a private vacation for the two of you.
We used to do that when we were with family. And as of recently, my youngest just is not okay with me not being there.
Okay. So in the future, that can happen in the future.
Right.
Another option
we have very supportive neighbors.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm just like, sorry.
Yeah. Another thing that might be a nice entry point into the conversation with him without even requesting the vacation is to share great memories of past vacations together, and to ask him about like his childhood, what vacations he remembers as being significant when he was the age of your kids now of 8 and 10. Were there any weekend trips or any memories he has of quality vacations? Because this is your parenting relationship, so you can focus on the kids and see what would be a vacation that would be really meaningful to them at this stage of their life. Also, that's just another way in. I'm trying to give you some different roads into the conversation with him that are much more just inquisitive and less about, I want this to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So memories, sharing. Okay. So is that what you'd like to commit to in the next couple of weeks? That and your time for yourself? Does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. And I think, do you feel that if this was more current, you would feel more empowered to let Kyle kind of to have that trust there that you want to have? Because that was really important too. Like, do you think the time for yourself would help that, or the check-ins? We can, I mean, if we were going on with the coaching and my client said, no, I think I need really more, then I'd say, okay, next week, let's take these actions, and next week, let's re-enter more about that trust or whatever.
So this is trust in parenting?
Well, just in the, like, we've focused in for about half an hour on the parenting part of relationship. And you came up with your need and your wish, but you also shared before the need and wish about having two different ways of relating as parents, where you had learned to relax and be the observer, and he was still very authoritarian, and you really voiced that you wanted to trust him. And discern. So that was one of your goals too, to have discernment about when do I step in as a peacekeeper and when do I trust them to work it out. So I'm wondering if
So
maybe
this
there's
just got
another.
real deep, real fast, because
Yeah.
trust is a very hurt place
Okay.
in our relationship.
Mhm.
It's very hurt. But I am like living, breathing redemption. Like I am. That's just what I believe. That's what I experience in life.
Yeah.
So like nothing's too far gone. I'm always just like, okay, let's just figure it out.
Okay.
You know, so, but that as we approached that, I was like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
I
didn't come up with it. You did. It was your words. You were very clear about it. So a part of you really wants to bring attention to that and to redeem it, probably, right? So that might be a really good place to pick up in a future session this weekend with another coach, or with yourself, to just have a whole, like, so actually tomorrow we do coaching 360 with an emotion, or with an important word for us. And so I would suggest to you to use the word trust.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So good to have this time together. So
likewise.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.